is Rachel Hill with the African American Cultural Garden Sankofa web series. And in this series, we're going to highlight some of the most amazing things about Cleveland. We're going to talk to wonderful people, and you are going to learn about the history of the African American Cultural Gardens. Right now in history, this is so important to us because it looks at the past, the present, as well as the Middle Passage. So these are key things that people don't know about, don't study, but we're going to talk about it some more. We're going to talk about what does Black history and culture mean to our guests, mean to us, and also what does Black history mean as well as our lives continue to evolve and take place in this society as of now, from our ancestors to present day. One of the reasons why I am a part of this garden is because I believe in it, and I believe in learning about our culture, learning about our history, and also what lies in store for future generations. I actually know the president and the development chair, and once they told me about the garden, which I'd never heard of before, I was so excited to try my hand to see what I can do to help bring this to prominence. We need donations. We need to be able to grow our garden, but we're very excited to present this series to you. My co-host Kenny Hill, you're going to see some interviews with some movers and shakers in the city of Cleveland, very important people, and learn about them, and you're going to learn about the garden as well. We hope you stay tuned. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the African American History and Culture webcast series. I'm KD Hill. Thank you for tuning in. We invite you to tune in to this program, which is designed to educate, inform, inspire, empower, and celebrate the rich African American history. Today we'll be interviewing someone you may know, very well known, Mr. Harry Boomer. Harry Boomer, thank you for joining us today.
My brother, how are you?
I'm outstanding. Yourself?
I'm doing well, man.
It's a beautiful morning right here at the African American Cultural Gardens right here. You can see it from the MLK Boulevard, but we're out at the top of the garden right now on Wheelock Avenue. It's a gorgeous day.
It
so
really
thank
is.
you for being with us, Harry.
Thanks for having me, man. It's great to be here.
Outstanding. Well, one of the benefits of our program, we're hoping that viewers will learn a little bit more about interesting personalities in our community. And
you
Harry
chose
Boomer,
me for that, man?
Yeah, you fit that. You fit that. You fit that to a T. So would you begin by sharing with our viewers a brief summary about Harry Boomer?
Well, I'm a son of the South, born and raised in North Carolina. I'm the baby of 10. I am really a baby boomer. My last name is Boomer, baby in the family, born in the baby boom generation.
Wow,
so
on all levels.
Yeah.
A family of 10?
Yes.
Incredible.
And 10 children plus mom and dad.
Yes, yes. Yeah, incredible. So were you born, what part of the South? Can you take us through that journey?
Yeah, eastern North Carolina, in a little place called Turkey, believe it or not. And
Turkey.
You can go ahead and laugh, it's okay.
Turkey, North Carolina?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I've been called Jive Turkey in the whole 9 yards of my lifetime, and
You've
that's
heard
okay.
it all.
I've heard it all. But that's okay. I've survived it all too.
Yes.
You know, I've survived the South, being born and raised in the segregated and racist South. I drank from the colored-only fountains and went into the black-only bathrooms, restrooms. I used to pick cotton with these hands. Thank God now I help pick presidents.
Amen.
So.
Amen. That's powerful. Okay, tell us about your school journey. Where'd you go to your formative years, and do you recall anything about high school that folks will find interesting?
Oh, you want me to go there, huh?
Yeah.
Want me to go back to school?
Yeah. For a moment.
Yeah.
For the viewers.
No. Well, let me just say first, before going to high school, I was at Hargrove High School, which was a first grade through 12th grade school with all my brothers and sisters that were not already graduated. There were like 4 of us there. And then when I went from the 8th grade to the 9th grade, we went from Hargrove, which was called the black school, to Union, which is called the white school. It integrated.
Okay.
So I did that, and upon doing that, my brother was the first of 4 black students to go to Union High School.
Okay.
The next wave I was in, there were more of us. By the time I graduated, I was the senior class president.
Outstanding.
A student body president.
Really?
You know, and had held a protest where we actually kind of locked down the school for about a week.
Incredible.
Yeah.
This was at Union, the integrated school.
Union High School.
Outstanding. Yeah. So we're still fighting some of those fights in 2020.
We were demanding black teachers, black studies, just something more cultural. Because it wasn't until I was a grown man that I learned more about me and about us.
Yes.
And about our history, which is American history, which is world history.
Correct, no question. I want to dive more into that topic about history, but tell us how you got situated into media.
Well, I'm the son of a preacher man.
Okay.
So I grew up in the church, and no kid in our church just sat in the pews and did nothing.
Yes.
I tried to sing in a choir, but I can't carry a tune in a bucket, so they made me read church announcements.
Okay.
And that set me on the path to where I am right now, reading and talking for a living. I have an older brother who loved to recite poetry. And so I idolized him, as I still do. He's a lawyer living in Hawaii now. You see why I still idolize him.
He's a hero, a
exactly.
role model.
Exactly. And when he was doing his poetry, I used to emulate him. So again, into that public speaking thing, my dad speaking as a minister, it was just sort of in the blood, you know.
Yes.
And then when I graduated high school, I went to Washington, D.C. We had a farm in North Carolina and a house in D.C. We were a commuter family. Dad couldn't raise 10 kids on a 15-acre farm, so
Yes.
he worked away from the house. So we would go visit, Mom would go visit. He'd come home every couple of weeks on the Greyhounds and the Trailways, and you know, we'd hear the bus coming from a mile or two away and run down the wooded path to the roadway to greet Dad. He was loaded down with stuff.
Yes.
And we'd haul it back to the house that he brought in from D.C. And we sort of all grew up on the farm. I was born and raised in the house that I was raised in. I was born in that house. And then we went from the farm in D.C. to the house in, the house in North Carolina to the house in D.C. All of us, then we went out to our individual lives, doing whatever it is we do. And I got into broadcasting school after graduating in 1971.
Outstanding.
And just kept going from there, man.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You do a great job, too.
Thank you.
You do a great job. And so we're hoping that viewers will tune in with their families, family members of all ages, and learn that you can do whatever you set your mind to. We had another guest, and he talked about his humble beginnings. Mr. Campy Russell, of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, and you can chart your course to success. And if you get the right people, you have that vision and that hard work ethic and that high standard as well.
No doubt about it. Hard work is part of who I am. I remember being on the farm, and speaking of humble beginnings, we had a wood stove in the kitchen, a wood heater in my mother's room, and an outhouse.
Wow.
I did not have running water in my house, ever. We had a well that we would pump water from to bring into the house to bathe, to cook, to whatever else. So I say that given those obstacles and those odds, I'm blessed to be here, glad to be here, and trying to tell the story, because others need to understand that, yeah, everybody goes through difficult things, but just because it is difficult does not mean it's impossible.
Yes.
You know, the possible is there.
Yes.
We just have to look for it and work toward it.
No question, no question. So you mentioned about Black history. Let's pivot there. Please share your perspective on the importance of African American Black history.
Well, my thing is, if we don't know our story, we don't know our story. And if we don't know our story, we can't tell our story. We can't inform our young people who need to know that they didn't get to where they are just because they're smart, or because daddy and mommy can afford to buy them a pair of Nikes or a smartphone. That there has been hundreds of years of struggle and death and sacrifice to get us to where we are now. And all of our history is not good history. A lot of our history is bad history because of what happened to us.
Yes.
The good part about it is that we survived it. We survived the Middle Passages, we survived slavery, most of us, or those who did survive, because many perished for an untold number of reasons, many of which were not justified.
Yes.
The hangings and the rape and the killing and the displacement, all those things are a part of our history, and we have survived that, which tells me that we are a special people. To come from the motherland to here and to take America and make America great. We made America great on our backs. The scars on our backs and in our brains still are evident today. But American history and Black history is so important, because if we don't know what we have done, we don't really know what we can do.
Yes.
And we need to understand that, you know, if I understand that this road leads me to my house, I can go from my house to wherever else I want to go. I'm not going to stay in anybody's lane. My lane is wherever I want to be.
Yes.
So I can continue to make history.
Amen.
And you know what I do now, if I may toot my own horn and pat myself on the back.
Sure, please do.
Nobody has been at channels 19 and 43 on air longer than I have.
Outstanding.
Every day I stay, I make a little bit more history.
Outstanding.
All right.
All right,
Thank
Harry
you,
Boomer, you heard it here first. That's the first time I've heard it, so outstanding. I love that history. And to your point, I mean, knowing that history, how our struggle has been, and painful at times, but overcoming. We had the vision, we had the courage, we had the talent, we had the persistence, determination to keep moving forward. And that's such important lessons for our children and all of us to learn, because I think we all have gifts. Whatever age you are, you have a gift. And so do you have any people in African American Black history that kind of resonate with you, people in history? Is there someone who kind of is very appealing to you that you want to share?
Well, you know, I have to go back to family. My father, the Reverend G.A. Boomer, would be 108 years old if he were alive in 2020.
Yes.
My mother would also be 108 years old if she were alive.
Yes.
My oldest brother, George, who has gone on to glory as well, was in the U.S. Army. He fought in the Korean War. My brother Joe, who was a police officer, he's retired now, 15, 20 years. I'm still working, so he chose a good career.
You're still making history, though.
Well, thank you for that.
Hello, my name is Courtney A. Barton, and I'm the Program Director for Arts and Culture and Racial Equity Initiatives at the Cleveland Foundation. The Cleveland Foundation is proud to sponsor the Association of African American Cultural Gardens Black History and Culture webcast series. Culture is the way that we interact and make sense of the world and express ourselves. It is also an inherent human need and a basic human right enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Too often, the story of Black culture is framed as one of deprivation, but I would like to talk about the ways in which Black culture has always thrived. Take, for instance, Adinkra symbols. Now, the symbol of the African American Culture Garden is an Adinkra symbol, Sankofa bird, which is a bird that is depicted as flying forward while looking backwards. Adinkra symbols are an ancient West African writing system originating in a part of the continent that is also known for its ironworkers. Now, when these ironworkers were kidnapped from their ancestral lands and brought to this continent to help build this country, they often embedded Adinkra symbols in the iron that they wrought. So if you ever have the opportunity to visit an antebellum or colonial building, take a close look at the wrought iron you may find in gates and fences. Rather than a series of decorative shapes, it's often Adinkra symbols you will be looking at. And though you may not understand the meaning of each individual symbol, the overall message to take is that our ancestors survived and retained their and our culture and managed to create great beauty in the midst of the most adverse circumstances.
This is Rachel Hill with the African American Cultural Gardens Profiles in Business series, and we're here at Glen Village, which is going to be the new Black Wall Street. And I'm here with Misty McDuffy, and that is a sister of Mary Johnson,
Yes.
better known as Vitamin Candy.
Yes.
And actually here in this location, Vitamin Candy has an actual retail location right behind me. She's not available to speak today, but we have her sister Even Better to explain what Mary does, her dreams, her goals for success. And thank you, Misty, for speaking with us today, first and foremost. Can you tell us a little bit about Mary Johnson, aka Vitamin Candy?
Yes, Mary Johnson is my sister. I'm one of the oldest sisters of Mary Johnson. And she started her journey in 2009. And that journey was to become healthy. She was overweight and she did not like the things that was going on in her lifetime due to her health. So she decided to start this journey of weight loss, in which she did. And in conquering her journey, she also started her own juicing. Because in the beginning, when she started working out, And then she ended up having her own studio for workout benefits for everyone. She had her own gym. And then after that, she started her cold pressed juices, which she started from at home, which was a success. And you know, sometimes it's bigger than just starting at home. You have to go out and speak to other people, especially black-owned businesses. And in that process, she started Vitamin Candy Cafe. Meanwhile, she's an entrepreneur. She's a great daughter and sister, a girlfriend. And this book that she wrote, and this was one of the things that she wrote, and it's called From This to That. And this is telling her whole story from the beginning till now. And you know, here at Vitamin Candy Cafe, we enjoy being here in a community, and this is what she wanted. She wanted to be in a community where she can help her brothers and sisters in their journey to whatever it is that they may be dealing with. So you can always come to her for an advice. You know, it doesn't have to be for specifically weight loss, but the journey is not for people to judge themselves about how they look. It's about getting healthy, and that's her main goal, to get healthy. And she's not here today because she's at Washington, in Washington, D.C., visiting the White House. So therefore, it doesn't just stop here. And Mary is big. I look at my sister, she's big, she's great, she's awesome, and she's very motivated. So in the meantime, here at Vitamin Candy Cafe is vegan, vegetarian, we serve for pescatarian. And you know, we try to accommodate everyone here in the community. So at the end of the day, only God, only the Lord Jesus Christ can see her through this wonderful journey with the rest of her brothers and sisters, because we are family here. This is a family here, and we thank everyone who does come out and show support to us. Not just Vitamin Candy, Living Rich, Piping Hot. We have the barbershop behind us, you know, and Lamoka, she's over on the opposite side of the building. And a big thanks to Black Box also. But this is a journey for all of us, not just for the ones that's here. They're here for a reason. And I'm just so glad to be a part of my sister's business, because that's what she do it for. She does it for her family. And she loves hard, and she's big on being there for her people in the community. And it doesn't matter what race you are. We all are brothers and sisters, you know. So I thank God for giving me the opportunity, because we cannot do this without him.
And how many pounds did she lose in this amazing journey?
She lost 130 pounds.
130 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And she did that with a combination of diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And also juicing.
Juicing, yes.
So with that being said, which is just amazing, because I've had a chance to meet her
Mm-hmm.
before, and she is tiny, but what were some of the health ailments that she had before she lost the weight?
Asthma.
Okay.
Asthma. She made the dean list for the police academy. She was going to be also going to be a police officer.
Okay.
So when you pass every test except for getting over that wall, that's when it kicked into her, no, I have to change some things in my life. And that was one goal that she was committed to, and she conquered it.
Mm-hmm. So she wanted to be a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
but now she's helping people in other ways and saving more lives on this journey.
Yes.
So you mentioned, is she a pescatarian or?
She's a vegetarian.
Okay, vegetarian. So she no meat, anything?
No meat.
And also she like nuts and berries and things like that?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And all our meals are made fresh.
Okay.
We do have a vegan burger made fresh. We do not order any type of meat or anything from the stores.
Okay.
Pre-frozen, absolutely not. Everything is made fresh. All of our fruits and vegetables are fresh, and they're pressed right to order.
And what are some of your best-selling products in the cafe? What should we come in and eat and try?
The vegan burger.
Okay.
We have an Italian vegan sausage. We have the Recharge pressed juice. We also the couscous rice bowl is one of the favorites as well. So everything there is good. It just depends on what you want. And our number one seller is the Berry Blast
Okay.
smoothie.
Okay.
And we do have sea moss gel that she makes herself. She makes up the sea moss gel, and that's fresh every day. She has a meal prep that you can call in, and she'll do a consultation with you, and you can do a meal prep with her, and we'll set it up where we'll do your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We provide it for you for the 2.5, 3 weeks. And the cold pressed juice comes with it.
Okay. And then last but not least, how can people reach out to you guys? How can they get the book? How can they contact her on social media? Can you give that information for everyone?
And on social media, and I'll just give you her the website, www.vitamincandy.com, and candy is with a K. A lot of people say, I couldn't find you because, you know, she said, well, what did you use, a C or a K? And they said, we use a C, and she said, no, it's with a K. And she's also on Instagram as well. And the number here, well, her number, so I like to be correct, so the number here for her, for the vitamin candy is 1-440-373-7618. 1-440-373-7618. And you can reach us, you can call in your order, and we'll have it prepared for you before you get here. And all you have to do is pay for it.
Well, thank you so much, Misty. You did a great job representing Candy while she's out, or Mary. So thank you so much for your time, and this is Profiles in Business.
Hi, my name is Levita Ewing from the Association of African American Cultural Garden, and I'm here to ask you to join the movement to help us to complete your garden, the African American Garden, which is one of 36 gardens in the Cleveland Federation of Cultural Gardens here in Cleveland, Ohio. Our garden represents the past, the present, and the future. The past pavilion has already been built. It represents our ancestors going through a doorway and a corridor of no return. Water will cascade down underneath a 50-foot granite place where our ancestors have emerged here in this country to the top of every level in music, science, education, medicine, with a vision for the future, which is our future generation. What a wonderful way to support this part of our history by donating to the African American Cultural Garden. All donations are tax deductible. Go to AAACG.org for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode and you learned a little bit more about our garden and people in our community. Please sow a seed and watch us grow. You can go to our website to donate, and also our social media links will appear below so you can get caught up on all the updates at the garden and see what we're doing. Please stay tuned for further episodes that you will enjoy in the future. Sow a seed and watch us grow.